Imagine this, the year was 1996, the hit handheld and really the first of its kind, the Game Boy, was reaching the end of its life cycle until these games then went on to keep the Game Boy alive for another few years.
These neat little games were simple turn-based RPGs, but my god were they ever fun. They were filled with charm, lovable characters, and hours of entertainment. So naturally, 23 years later, this game sucks.
It lacks originality, a good story, and its gimmick is lame. But if I just said that, then this video wouldn't reach 10 minutes, so I guess I have to talk about it a bit more.
Great.
Let's start out with the gameplay itself. It's fine. It's pretty much just Pokemon. A bit of story here and there, maybe a Pokemon battle from time to time with just enough exploration to make it interesting. Again, it's fine. But that's the old stuff. I could have done that on this brick. What about the new stuff?
You get to grow big and go camping. Yeah, this game really didn't impress me that much.
Everything that was done well isn't something original in this game, and I get that it's a sequel and it's supposed to build off those original ideas, but it doesn't really feel like they're built upon at all. Take Mario, for example. In Super Mario 64, they laid the basis for what a 3D Mario game could and should be. Then a few years later, Super Mario Sunshine came out, which gave us new moves to mess with that truly changed up the way you looked at platforming within the world. And a couple of years later, we got Super Mario Galaxy, which gave a finger to physics and gave us one of the most fun and most experimental platformers to this day. All of this leading up to Super Mario Odyssey, which really tied all of that up into a neat little package and much, much more. When playing Mario, each new title feels like it shakes things up in its own way, whereas with Pokemon Sword and Shield, and modern day Pokemon as a whole, it just feels like it's relying on the old Pokemon formula way too much. It seems like they're scared to do anything new, just in case it will upset people, but in turn, they're not doing anything new is just upsetting people. Well, gameplay aside, the graphics have to be nice, right? These graphics look disgusting. This is the same console Super Mario Odyssey and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild came out on. This looks like a 3DS game in HD, or as I like to call it, hell. These graphics look like they were held together by duct tape, and the thing is, they don't have to. There are times that this game actually looks pretty good, but for every time it looks competent, there are like 5 times it looks like crap. I wouldn't even be that mad about it if they didn't cut 232 Pokemon even after taking DLC into account. Yeah, that's right, they cut 232 Pokemon. The reason I bring this up was because before the games were released, it was revealed that over 400 Pokemon were cut from a base game, and their reasoning for doing this was to, and I quote, be able to make more high-quality animations. And to cap it all off, you have an incredibly disappointing story. Most of it is just Hop's annoying little midlife crisis. Okay, so here's the gist. A couple thousand years ago, there was this fabled hero who wielded a sword and shield and saved the Galar region from the darkest day. The darkest day was the day the sky went, get this, dark, and a bunch of Pokemon started growing really big and smashed some stuff. But it's later revealed that it might not have been a hero, but instead 2 Pokemon. From here, a bunch of mysterious things start happening. Pokemon start randomly Dynamaxing all over the place, and the chairman Rose starts acting a little suspicious. It is then revealed, through a lazy collection of images, that the chairman is doing these crazy experiments in order to solve an energy crisis that's centuries off from being an issue. After talking him down from the whole thing, the situation seems to be resolved when all of a sudden it's revealed that he's going to go through with his experiment anyway, which releases this super dangerous and powerful Pokemon, Eternatus, and causes the darkest day to repeat itself. You are now faced with the task of stopping him and the evil Pokemon, but the task seems too hefty, and so you go and seek out 2 of the most powerful Pokemon who ended the darkest day a couple thousand years ago, and end up saving Galar.
Overall, that's not a bad story. It's actually much better and much more exciting than most modern-day Pokemon games. So what's the problem then, I hear you saying? Instead I say, you barely get to play any of it.
Most of this game's story is told to you. You don't actually get to play through it. You know, like a game. Usually, when something exciting happens, a character will come up to you, tell you about it, and leave. You rarely ever actually get to experience it, making the whole thing feel underwhelming.
Overall, this game is not good, not even close. But if I were to say something even half decent about it, it would be that it can be genuinely tons of fun.
I'll admit, however underwhelming the whole Dynamax and Gigantamax idea is, it is still a fun new feature that makes battles feel that much more powerful. And although I did rag on it a bit, the camping is a whole bunch of fun here, and allows you to get more attached to whatever the hell a roly-coly is. I also really enjoyed the character customizer. I think it's one of the best we've seen in a Pokemon game to date, and I've spent more time than I'd like to admit just messing around with different hairstyles and outfits.
To conclude, this game is not good. It's barely mediocre. But if you could find it cheap at a second-hand price or on sale, I'd definitely recommend picking it up, because it can just be so much fun. They kind of remind me of the Venom movies in that way. They're not good and nobody really likes them, but they are just such good time wasters. I'd actually quite like to see these games get the Sun and Moon treatment. Release them in a subpar state, then re-release them a couple years later into games that are actually pretty good.